Welcome once again to another episode of the Music Podcast Without a Name. And after 3 episodes, we still haven't been able to come up with a name yet. Please subscribe to the channel so you can be the first to know when we eventually come up with one. My name is Manelisi, and I am with the incredible, the brilliant, the beautiful Z Mazibugo. Our guest this evening is such an amazing singer and a songwriter. She does R&B, jazz, neo soul, and has very recently ventured into Amapiano and a soulful Afro house. She has so far released 3 EPs: Into the Wilderness in 2017, Summer Stories in 2018, and All Eyes on You in 2020. I first came across her when I heard a single Home earlier this year, and I was instantly captivated by her voice and artistry, and I just knew that I have to talk to her. There's no doubt in my mind that she's well on her way to being a superstar. I love her, and I know that the world will love her too. She was born Jasmine Elizabeth Winifred in London, England, but we know her as Jaz Karis, and she has honored us enough to be with us. Jaz, how are you?
Hello. What an entrance. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for allowing us to speak to you, man. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for making the time.
Yeah, so I understand Z this time. I think she's going to start with the first question.
Thank you so much for allowing us to speak to you once again. You have such a beautiful voice, by the way, and your soul can be felt through your music. Do you come from a musical background, from a family of musicians, or is music something that you discovered on your own and you fell in love with it?
Yeah, not at all. My family's not musical, like one bit. But I started, music from a very early age. My dad would like to think that he can sing, but he can't. But I started playing piano from really young, and then I joined the gospel choir at church. And I just kind of fell in love with it. It was that, as well as I used to love to write like stories and things like that. So meshing them together, it just became my whole kind of love for songwriting and making music.
Now, I understand that you're an alumni of the Performing and Creative Arts School, the BRIT School. Mm-hmm. What was the process of getting in there, and how was your experience during your time there?
So to get in there, you have to audition. You go through like a range of like, it's not just one audition. You have to do theory tests and music, things like that. I always wanted to go. There's some greats that have been there. So Amy Winehouse, Adele, so many people. And I always wanted to go. And basically, I think it was, we moved to the area, Croydon, and then I applied and I got in in the UK, it's like after secondary school. So it's like our college, basically. So I went there for 2 years and it was like such a great experience. The majority of my band, even to this day, is still from BRIT. I think I've like re-fell in love with music there.
That's amazing. Now let's take it back a little, right? I hear you earlier mentioned that you like writing and you joined the church choir. But when did you realize that you can actually sing and you have the pipes for it?
Oh, I think it was, I did like, when I was singing in the choir, I kept getting put up for solos. So I was like, I can't sound that bad. And then also when I started doing the solos, I loved it. I loved to perform. And I was like, oh, I actually have a nice voice. And I was obviously singing along to Beyonce, Chris Brown in my room, Aretha Franklin, SWV at home. And then I went for my school talent show. And I think the first time I did it, I was in year 5. And I came, so that's like primary school here. And I came 3rd in that one. And I was like, okay, next time I'm definitely coming 1st. So I knew from then that I could sing, like people was telling me and stuff like that. So I think that's when it was.
And amazing. So you really realized it at such a young age. That's amazing.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Now, you released your first EP, Into the Wilderness, in 2017. How did you feel leading up to its release? Were you nervous, excited, or had mixed emotions about how people would receive it?
One thing, I was definitely nervous and excited. I don't really think the amount of stress I went through, like I was a kid and I put all my money that I was saving up from my part-time jobs into it and stuff. So like, I think I knew it was a great piece of work. I wasn't worried about the sound. I think it was more the delivery of the whole thing, because it was like I relied on so many favors and friends and family, have such an amazing support system. So I was definitely nervous, like pulling it off. But and it was my first piece of work out in the world, you know. But I think I knew it was going to be good, and it's to this day I think it's still my favorite project I've made. So it was definitely mixed emotions, but I'm very proud of that piece of work.
That's amazing. And saying that it's your favorite project that you've made, right? You dabble in quite a few genres, and from where I'm standing, you're quite good in all of them. You're definitely killing all of them.
Thank
How would you
you.
describe your sound?
I like to use the word soul because I think soul resides in like so many different genres, and I think as long as what I try to do is when I do something, when I know I like a song, is when I still sound like me. I feel like when I've crossed over genres, as long as I can still sing it the way I'd want to sing it, and I still feel good singing it, and I still sound like me, I haven't changed the way I do things, then I think, yeah, it's got my soul. So I feel like soul is the way I like to describe my music, just because it crosses into so many different areas.
And you can still hear the soul even in all the genres that you do. So I understand why I describe it like that.
Thank you.
And while we're on the subject of the genres and all of that, Amapiano is probably the biggest genre right now in South Africa. How is it received in the UK?
It's growing, definitely. Like, I love it so much. I love it so much. And I think just in terms of the events and things, it's definitely getting there. Like, I even there was an event I got to know about, shout out Danky Sounds, this Amapiano event in the UK. And I went there and it was the best night out I think I've ever had in London. And it's just pure Amapiano. And I think like the last few times I did, the first time I did it, like it was only a certain group of people knew about it, but it was really good. Then the next time it got more bigger, but these last ones has been selling out like this. So I feel like it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And people, as well, the internet, I feel like you can access so many things. That doesn't, just because it's big in one country now, it just means it's going to be big everywhere because it travels so fast these days. So Amapiano is definitely growing, which is good news for me as well. But I love it. And I think the UK is starting to really jump onto it as well.
And Amapiano to the world, basically.
Yes, yeah.
And do you have a favorite Amapiano artist?
Ooh, my favorite Amapiano artist, and I always think, can I pronounce his name correctly, is Adekunle Gold. Am I saying his name right?
Yeah, what's that?
Adekunle Gold. He sings Thinner, he sings High. I think he's even on is he on Champion Sound? No, he's not, that's Davido. But I think him, basically, Adekunle Gold. Okay. He's got some
It's amazing for you right now. It's just your fave.
Yes, he's my favorite.
Collaboration, how did it come about with Busiswa and Jules?
Yeah, so I've known Jules. Obviously, Jules is Ghanaian, but he's based in the UK. And I've known Jules for a while. And yeah, we went to the studio one day. We made that and we made Let Me Down. I didn't think nothing of it. Like, he played it to me and I was like, this is different. And I just kind of freestyled on it. Yeah. And then at the time, it didn't have Busiswa on it either. I had no idea what I was entering. Jules just gave me a beat, and I was like, cool. I done my thing on it. I left. Next thing you know, the song kind of blew up and took off like crazy. Everyone knows that song. So it
really did.
And have. Then obviously since then we've worked together again on his album, and we hope to do some more as well very soon.
You really need to work together. You guys make a good team.
Thank you so much. Me and Jules do make a good team. We do mesh quite well sonically.
Because I also saw the numbers on your colors performance. It's almost about 10 million. Is it just past 10 million? How does it feel looking at those numbers and watching that performance? And how does that make you feel that 10 million people have seen your performance?
Yeah, it's the colors performance is actually on 12 million right now, and it's it's amazing. Like I always wanted to do a colors. To this day, I always talk about colors and give them thanks because I just think they're incredible platform, and they just, I don't know, I love it so much. I didn't expect for it to do that well, and it has. It just surpassed everything I wanted it to. So I'm just continually blessed and flattered that people still love that song so much to this day.
Cool. Now let's just get into the main business of today. You recently released two singles, "Tonight" and "Games We Play." I love the use of the arcade video, the arcade game video art. By the way, please tell us about those singles.
So they basically tell a story. Tonight is as you can hear is the ending of a relationship when it doesn't end so cleanly, and you're just in that kind of cycle with your partner, your ex-partner, and you can't get out of it. I love that. I feel like people have listened to it differently and got different things from it. But that's the kind of vibe of that one. And then it leads into Games We Play featuring Jay Warner, which is about like re-entering the dating game and being defensive and questioning people's intentions and things like that. But it's really, I think I wanted to kind of speak to my generation's approach these days, because it is a lot different, I guess, to us growing up and watching Disney movies. Is really not like that out here. It's a lot more cold and a lot more, so not everyone has the best intentions and things like that. So that's kind of why I called it Games We Play, because I feel like both men and women, we always play games with each other.
Oh, okay. Is that what inspired the cover art as well?
Yeah, so obviously an arcade game, yeah. And I loved it as well. Like I don't know, I love animation and things like that. So when I saw that, it was like, I love the coloring and everything. I was like, yeah, this is sick. I need to use something like this. And then it worked with Games We Play as well. So
while we're still on the covers, what inspired the cover of All Eyes on You? Because I'm looking at you right now and I'm seeing like big hair, I'm seeing a pretty lady and on the table on the computer, and this is literally you right now. So what inspired that?
Yeah, all that's missing is my cat, right? It's just basically I made that project during lockdown, and I made the project in my bedroom, in this bedroom actually, and my setup is just over there behind me. And I just wanted to like kind of reiterate that, because I think during lockdown, All Eyes on You, basically it was like we had nothing to do but to really look at ourselves, because no one's outside anymore.
Ooh, yeah.
Your life became put into perspective. Are you really happy with where you're at? Like, are you happy with how you are, how you feel? And I feel like that's what's like All Eyes on You, but it's like your eyes are on you. You're really watching yourself. And it was just like me alone in my room doing my thing with my cat. And I just kind of wanted to recreate that image of literally how I was during that time.
That's amazing. I didn't look at it like that. That's really amazing. While we on that EP, what's your favorite song on it?
Oh, I think it would have to be Hold You. That's my favorite one on that one, I think. Yeah.
I like putting people on the spot with those questions, because when it's your body of work, you like every song on it, and I like asking the question.
Yeah, but also still on the singles, the first song that I heard from you, one of your first songs that I heard was Home. Please tell us about that, because that song is so beautiful, and
thank you.
It just did something to me. I don't know what it is, but it just did something to me. It's just wonderfully written. It's wonderfully sung. Please just tell us about it.
Thank you. Home is one of my favorite songs. It's really, really close to my heart. I think it's a very raw song. I wrote it like fresh out of a breakup, and it was basically about it was like bittersweet, because I didn't want it to be one of those, like, for example, Petty Lover is me being Pay and being a bit childish, and just feel like it was coming from love. It was no bad blood vibe, but it was also remembering that I think through every relationship we have to remember that like our home has to be ourselves. We can't make our home in something else or in someone else, because that's obviously how we get attached to things. And if things don't work out, you can't put your happiness in someone else. So that's kind of what that song was. And as like heartbreaking as it was also very like liberating, coming back to myself and like really grounding myself and realizing like you're gonna be okay, because you're your home.
That's amazing, the way you just described everything. We're in 2022 right now, right? And going back a few years, you released Pretty Dreamer, Petty Lover. How would you say that your sound has grown since then?
Oh, I think
if it has.
I definitely think it has. I think it's I've tried to keep it as authentic, because I think both of those songs was me like figuring out what I was doing. But I think lyrically, I've definitely grown a lot more, gone a bit more like clearer and direct with what I want to say. And I think sonically, I've definitely just explored different things. So I still love both of those songs, and I think I just think I've grown up a bit more since then. So maybe lyrically and stuff, I'm talking a bit more maturely.
All right. And what can you expect from Jaz Karis this year?
Well, this year, so if you've noticed, obviously I dropped the last 2 songs as a couplet. So you've got a couple more couplets to come. And I feel like I'm just really telling a story this year. You'll get definitely like an LP, a longer project at the end of the year. A lot more shows, a lot more visuals, just bigger and better, really, and more consistent.
In being more consistent, it means you're going to be working more, right? Who's the one artist you'd still like to collaborate with? Within your country, outside of your country, who's that one person you still want to work with?
Well, one person, they always come to my head straight away, which is Frank Ocean. He's like one of my favorite minds, like musical minds ever. And that would just create my whole life. I think I'd be good for the rest of my life if I did that.
Yeah, I can hear it. So I understand where you're coming from. I can definitely hear it.
And in terms of performances, can we expect you in South Africa within the next couple of years?
Oh, I would love to come to South Africa. Amapiano home. I would love that. And definitely in the next few years. I don't want to promise this year, but definitely in the next few years, 100%. Yeah, definitely.
Awesome.
I'd love to have you here.
Thank you. I'd love to come. I'll definitely hit you guys up when I come.
Now, if you want to get in touch with you and stay updated with your latest work, how can you do that?
So you can follow me on everything. So Jaz Karis, that's JAZ_KARIS.
All right.
Nice and simple on every social media platform.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Now, Jaz Karis, it was wonderful having you. I don't know if you have any last words.
I just thank you guys for having me. Like, stay tuned. That's my last words, I guess.
And thank you so much for giving us the time to speak to you, man. May God continue to bless your pen and may you continue to make great music and be more successful.
I appreciate that. Thank you, guys. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you as well. And thank you very much for honoring us with your time. This is something that I usually say about our guests, is that everyone that we have as a guest is someone that we believe in, is someone whose music we believe in, their art and what they stand for. So we are very excited about your career. We're excited about your future. We're excited to see what you have for us in the near future. And we wish you all the best, and we wish you all the best. And all the successes that you desire.
I really appreciate that. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you very much, Jaz.
Thank you so much, man. Enjoy your day further.
Thank you. You guys have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, Jaz. Thank you, you too.
All right.
So that was Jaz Karis. This is the Music Podcast Without a Name. And stay tuned, subscribe to the channel. And yeah, we've got more coming for you. Cheers. Bye.